Peace, family. This is attorney Taalib Saber with the Saber firm. Today, I am talking to a dear friend of mine. He's a big artist in Cape Verde, and he's doing some amazing things. And it's a particular issue that we're going to talk about today, what's going on in Portugal. So without further ado, Mr.
Rahiz.
What's going on, brother?
I'm good, brother. And you?
Good, man. Thank you for coming on and actually talking about what's going on in Europe. But give the family a little bit of background about yourself and what you do and how you got started in music.
Okay. So I'm Rahiz, for those who don't know. Started with Celso OPP. OPP, I know that in the United States, OPP can mean a lot of, a lot of meanings, but for us, it has one. Otorella Portela Projects. It's the bairro, right? Like we say, the bairro that I grew up. I started with 14, with hip hop. I had several groups. I'm a producer. I sing, I write, I record people, and I've been doing it for almost 20 years. Yeah, I guess 20 years.
Wow.
I come from a music family, My great-grandfather is like the biggest musician on the history of Cape Verde. He is the mentor of Cesar Evra, that is our, most known artist. And I was born in Portugal. Portugal that has, everybody that goes deep in history knows that Portugal has a very specific story on slavery and invasion of Africa. Right. So I'm one of those kids that was born in Portugal but didn't let the system, go through my head and turn me on something that I'm not. So since I started doing music, my message has been always about lifting our people, justice, not just our people, but justice overall, but especially our people, because I'm Black and I'm proud of it. And since then, I've been all around Europe, networking with brothers and sisters like me, like you, Taalib. Trying to create a network, especially because we don't talk that much with each other, and I realized that everywhere we are, we have the same issues, on different dynamics, but we have the same problems. So me as an artist, very soon, I realized that the only way for us to win this war is for us to understand that we all have the same problem. We all are the same people. We all have the same struggles. Even if you're in China, a black youngster like me has the same problem as me from Portugal. So I realized that with music I can reach people, but more than just reach people with music, I can reach people on a way that I can talk to them and make them realize that we are not alone on this war. And if we understand that we all are going through the same situations, maybe, just maybe, and I think that is the solution for everything. We can gather, we can be just one voice on the problems that we have that are the same, and we can win this war quickly. It's been a few generations. No, like a lot of generations till we get to this point. But I guess that the solution to resolve all this, it doesn't need that long to be resolved. We just need to understand the problems that we have, where we are, how to attack these problems, and how can we support each other on these problems. So me as an artist, that is my main mindset since I'm doing music, since everybody that knows me knows that I'm in this, because I like to do music. Music runs through my veins, but it's just a vehicle, it's just a way for me to meet our people, to go to broadcast my message and my energy to a wider spectrum of people, so we can see what we can do together, bro.
Thanks. You know, it's interesting because you said that you are a producer and a singer, a rapper, you know, doing all of this prior to Drake and around the same time as Lauryn Hill. But you know, it's interesting because us in the diaspora in the United States will mainly see a lot of music from our perspective. So a lot of us aren't thinking, oh, there's some artists in Europe that of African descent doing the same exact thing. And one of the things that attracted me to your music, and I'll give a brief story of how me and Rahiz connected. I remember I was in law school and I was doing some stuff for my Afro Hop documentary series. And I think I friended on Facebook one of your friends who was an artist. His name escapes me right now, but he was actually in your video, Importa.
Okay.
God, what's his name? It was Ice Thug. You know?
It was what?
Ice Thug.
Ice Thug. Okay.
Yeah. So
okay.
I came across one of his tracks. I said, okay, so you were one of his friends. So I clicked on your profile and I saw the music video that you had, Kotiva. And I'm looking at it and I'm like, hold on, is this cat from New York? Because you had like the fitted on and everything. You looked like you were from the States. But then as I was listening to the music, I said, okay, yeah, this kind of crank. And I think I reached out to you through my Facebook Afro Hop page and forgot that my profile switched over to my personal page. And then that's when you added me as a friend, and we've been building ever since. But one of the things that really stood out to me about your music, and you spoke about it, is the consciousness of it and how you're speaking to a lot of the issues that plague us as an African people. And you do it in a way that isn't preachy, but it gets your attention and it's entertaining to listen to.
Yeah, bro. Thank you for the part that I can say thank you to you. But my position in the music, my position in my community and in the country that I was born is very specific, because as people, okay, our countries just met the independence just a few years ago, okay, us as African countries that we speak Portuguese language, okay. So my position, it's very specific because they were not used to a young guy like me, Afro descendant, as we say it over here. They were not used to have an artist that could sing that well, rap that well, produce. Once they saw who I was already producing major popular artists in the white industry scene. So it's like they don't expect you to be this aware, They was not expecting. So they will give you all they will open you doors, because on their minds is like, this is another one. Okay, he's very talented, but this is another one. But my mom did such a job on my head that as soon as I could, and I don't know if that is good or bad, probably I should be more smart on that, on that time, but we never had like awakened people around us.
Right.
We were doing something that it is for the first time. Nobody can tell you what to do or not to do, because we as a community, we were living our problems, but we didn't have the know-how of why we are in the situation we are, because the school system doesn't teach you about why you're in the situation you are.
Exactly.
In Portugal, Cape Verde, Angola, Mozambique, Guinea, Saint Tomé and Príncipe, the school system is Portuguese. So why would them teach you about the reality that you are and why, where it come from, and etc. So me, I always had a mom that would question everything, and my mom taught us to question everything. So we would talk about the stars and stuff like that. It was not normal on my community. I don't know how to explain to you guys, because you guys are very, very advanced, you know, more advanced than us in the aspect that you guys really know that slavery was something and it was not a choice, like Kanye West said. Right. You guys already have been taught about, you know, what slavery brought for you guys, not you guys there and us, but for us, but from the reality that you guys live in. You guys are already being taught for like generations about a problem. Me, I'm directly the son of someone that would never, not my mom would talk to us, but her generation could not even talk about something because they didn't knew what it is.
Wow.
So it's like they knew that they were working on a plantation, but they didn't have a concept of what a plantation was. That's so cool. Once you know that you are a slave, what you want to do, you want to try to get free. So if you don't know that you are a slave, you think it's natural. So if it's natural, you pass all that education to your kids, because this is the way I see me in the planet. This is the way I see me in the world. So me, since I'm a little boy, anxiety and a lot of problems that I have growing up, now I know why, because something was not right on my environment. Something was really not right, you know? Dad was an alcoholic. My mom is such a clever person and never had an opportunity. My mom probably could be someone really, really with a, you know, a doctor or a psychologist or something like that, but she's not. She was the teacher where we were born. It's like a little bit like Nas. They say that mom's Nas was a teacher, something like that. And I have friends that when I started doing music, we already starting, because hip hop, it's the main influence in my life that made me realize that something is not right. So when we was 10, 11, 12, 13, when I started listening to hip hop, before that, we were only listening to Cape Verdean music. And Cape Verdean music only talks about saudade, it talks about to miss something, because we are islands. You know, and all the, you know, imagine that Cape Verde has a population, I don't know now, but there was a time that Cape Verde had more women than men. So you had all these men going to the, now I know, you know, this is a very big story, but now I know that they were not going to work. They were going to help the empire to build themselves. Okay, so our original music, it's a music of, imagine a spot in the universe, you know, missing someone that went through the galaxy, do whatever you don't know, where you don't know, you know, imagine that he will come or she will come, you know? I know, talking with people that was born in Cape Verde. I was born in Portugal, but I know about talking with people from Cape Verde. I know I can feel this loneliness about you. I have kids that, they're not kids now, but grown men and women that when they were kids, they used to look to the sea, you know, and cry because they imagine the family, the dad, the mom. So all our music comes from a place of suffering, you know, but without understanding why we're suffering. Okay, I miss my dad, I miss my mom, I miss someone, but why do I miss them? Or what made them go, you know? So when hip hop comes to us, this generation that was born in Portugal, it came with a different perspective, with you guys talking about your struggle. So then we try to see, yo, cops over here, they kill us too. But we thought it was normal. It's not like, you know, that is normal, because it's not normal someone to kill someone. But you be like, they are the bosses. They are the ones that, it's like they are gods, you know? It goes to that image of God in the you know, on the picture. They are gods. So if they do that, The only way for us to better the situation is for us to change our actions. So you are a teenager getting beaten by the police or killed, or a friend has been killed. You see your mom, your dad, everybody. Yo, I'm telling you, Taalib, I'm telling you, my brother, this police brutality thing and racism in Portugal, oh man. If you talk to my dad, he will talk to you. He will say, yeah, police used to beat the shit out of me, do this and that. But my dad don't know how to relate that with slavery.
Yeah.
So if you're being beaten by being in the middle of the city, your mind is to, I don't go to the city because I belong to the ghetto. If I don't want to get beaten, just don't go to the city, my G. You know? And even when you are a more intellectual brother, well mixed and etc., then you go and on certain situations, you would have a different experience, of your same white friends, but you couldn't relate it. So you'd be like, maybe I should change myself a little bit and try to be a little bit more like my white friends. So you live in a life, you live in a reality that makes you go sick of your mind, because universe works on a way, and you cannot fight what universe wants. And if you don't understand, you're fighting against your own, liberty and right to be a human. Me as an artist, I started listening to hip hop. And hip hop brought me something that I already listened on Bob Marley songs, because my dad used to listen a lot of Bob Marley. And my mom was always someone that you could not do nothing to her. I'm telling you, my mom, you would touch on her kids, and she would put some trainers on, some gymnastic clothes, and she would go to fights.
Oh, she was okay.
She knows how to fight a few. She didn't live with her dad. Okay, she lived with the guy that was with my grandmother, and he was a martial art teacher. So my mom learned all of that.
Oh,
so my mom was not someone you could do something to her. She would kick your ass, bro. So I come from that energy, even as a relaxed young. Who knows me when I was young? They said you were so lay low, you didn't talk. But now I know I was not talking. I was just observing. I was just seeing the world I was. And then hip hop comes, and it triggers something on me, and I change. And then I start relating what you guys are living, because we see you guys as example. And I see like, yo, I do live the same thing. And then you have another thing, Taalib. We are countries that was colonized by Portuguese, so we speak Portuguese.
Right.
The system, the school, is not like they are trying that you learn English really well so you can understand the world really well so you can know where you are. So imagine the amount of kids that never understood what Tupac or whatever was saying, but felt it. If they would understand earlier, probably we would be right now on a different situation. So imagine myself, artist, major skill. Everybody around me saying, yo, bro, you could be the biggest thing in the history. But imagine, because I have the perception that I could never be as big as the situation that my people are in a country that they don't give a damn about me. I was never excited to be the mainstream, the most popular artist in Portugal.
Right.
I was interested on being the most influent that I could, but I early understood that they would never, ever let a brother like me be in charge, because I would change everything. I don't care. Right. I don't care about the situation that the system is right now. I understood that I have to make changes, and I would do whatever to change that. So me relating, I'm telling you all this long story, Taalib, so you can relate the music aspect, the artist, and the person, and the reality that I'm living, being an Afro-descendant. And it's all connected. That's why I changed my name to Rahiz. Rahiz, it means roots. Roots is like no tree, no, you don't have nothing without roots.
Thanks.
Okay? So being that we are like the roots of mankind, I'm just one branch of it. That's why Rahiz, I'm not Rahiz, we all are, you know? So I understood soon that money would be a problem, investment would be a problem, because I was not going to be the type of, Afro-descendant in Portugal that would do what the Portuguese want.
Mm-hmm.
I already knew that the story that they taught us in school was bullshit. Sorry if I'm saying these things, bro, but it's just the way that I feel and I have to take it out. I already knew my mom didn't know the answers, all the answers, but she already knew that all the discovering, I don't know if you guys know, but in school, Portuguese people say that they discovered Cape Verde. They discovered Angola. So they have the history of Portugal. It's taught in schools, about being discovering something.
Same thing here.
People. They never talk about the wars. They never talk about a big war that we have that we call ultramar. Ultramar is, ultramar, when you go translate, if you translate it in English, it's like ultra. Ultra for us is like to go beyond.
Mm-hmm.
Ultramar is like beyond the sea, to another continent. So they talk, on a superficial level about ultramar, just to make you think that you were savages. Oh, you black people were cutting our heads and doing this and that. They don't teach you that that was the war that brought us to a situation that we were fighting for our independence. They don't teach you. They tell you that Cape Verde was independent in 75 or something like that. Now, talking in English, I cannot relate, but whatever. They tell you that, but they don't explain you what was happening. How long was you on the hands of the empire? What they did to you? What was the dynamics of that? They don't teach you that we Cape Verdeans, they don't teach you that we are a new people. They don't teach you that we come from Guinea. They don't teach you that we Cape Verdeans didn't exist. We come from Angola. Mm-hmm. They don't teach you that on this selling slave stuff, that the Portuguese was the first ones to arrive to Africa. They don't teach you that with the mixing of the Portuguese, the Spanish, the French, the England, all these guys that would go to Cape Verde, that is on the coast of Africa, to rest, to change slaves, to build boats. And they don't teach you that with people from Guinea, people from Angola, then the mix with the French guys, the English guys, the Dutch guys, and etc. We was born guys like me.
Wow.
So Cape Verdean people never lived in the skin the same type of oppression that Guinea people and Angola people lived. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
Especially when we were used to manage them.
Manage the Angolan and
on a time that Angolan and Guinean people was already slaves, okay? We Cape Verdeans, the new people of this mix, they would let us be in front of positions of decision of the empire. We would be working on the banks, we would be doing things and blah, 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 blah. That's why our father, Amilcar Cabral, was such a smart guy. Mm. Our independence would never come from Guinea or Cape Verdean or Angola or etc. has a mindset. Our independence would have to come from a brother that they gave the books to read. from a brother that they let, you know, that they give him the opportunity to study and to understand what was happening. Because if you don't know the reality that you're living in, and you're a slave, you don't know that you are a slave. So you don't want to be out of that, because that's for you. It's for you. That's the reality you live.
Right.
This is being a human, you know. So yeah, it's very complex, because then you have these guys like me, and I was, bro, I was born on a structure. Imagine, hip hop is an African culture. Okay, it's an African culture. We
Right.
can call it whatever we want. We can say that hip hop has 40 years. Just a minute, because my computer is
Okay.
it wants to turn off. You know, we can say hip hop is whatever we want to say, but on a spiritual level, hip hop is older than we think.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying, bro?
Exactly.
If you understand my perspective, I don't wanna.
No, you're good. You're good, man. Like it's coming from, and that's a lot of things that when it first started, and even to this day, you can, when you're really listening to the messages that's in hip hop, you hear like the griots, you hear like the storytelling that used to happen around like a fire. You know, you hear some of the rituals that used to go on, you know, on the continent, and with the, especially with the beats, you hear like the rhythms of the continent. You hear some of the coastal type of music that come from various tribes within the continent, and a lot of people don't realize that, you know, when we were enslaved, all of those things were still within us. So whenever we used to have gatherings, or whenever we used to have what they would call Negro spirituals here, you know, talking about a ship coming to take us home, or you know, eventually being free, you know, going back home. Like there was messages in the music to let the younger generation know, and even the current generation that was in bondage, like, hey, we come from a great people, we come from a great land, and all of our efforts and our fights are to get back to that great land, or get back to a time in which, you know, we would be free. So it's interesting that you were diving into the history of Portugal and Cape Verde, Angola, Guinea, because a lot of what you're saying is very similar to what we go through here in the United States, in the Caribbean. When I was in Brazil recently, the same thing. And it's funny because when you're in the United States, a lot of us view Europe as, oh, you know, we need to go there because Europe is just beautiful and it has all these great things and these great structures, but they don't really understand the history of Europe, and one, how it obtained all of that, and two, some of the stuff you were talking about with regards to the police brutality that goes on, because a lot of people may only see it as a United States type of thing. You know, it only happens in America. A lot of some people come over here and say, I don't understand like what this racism is about in America. Like y'all are so enamored with race. And then when we're talking to brothers like you, and I'm sure you're going to dive into it in a bit, like, well, no, this happens in Europe as well.
Yeah, bro. You know, Brazil, Portuguese, Cape Verdeans, you know, we are all victims of a mindset. When we watching Brazilian television, my people around me, I say Cape Verdeans, they say like this: oh, Brazil is such a criminal country. They have so many problems. And I'll be like, yo, just put in perspective how many people lives in Brazil.
Yeah.
So if Portugal has 10 million people, you cannot try to compare with a country that has 100 million.
Right.
People just need to get knowledge. It's not that there is worse. It's not that in the United States it's worse and in Europe is better. No, it's just a perspective of numbers of people, you know, going through the same thing. So imagine if we have a society with 10 people on it, 3 black dudes are being beaten and la 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 la. And then you have the same 100, and 30 black dudes are being beaten. In mathematics, it's the same statistic. But these ones have more people. So you have more cameras. So you have more television. So you have more, you know, more noise, more buzz around it.
Right.
Bro, I'm so tired of people not using their heads, their minds. Because for me, it's so simple to understand what is happening. You know, it's just a relation of per capita and something like that. It's just the relation of the mathematics of the thing. It's not the thing in it, because the same thing is happening to everybody. You know, in different structures, with different people, with more people, with different conditions. Like United States, it's like let's imagine United States as a person. It's the most influential person in the world regard to culture.
Right.
Okay, and then you have to understand that this enormous guy, you know, the culture that he shares with the world and influences, that culture comes from another place. You know, it just was, you know, translated or something like that, but we cannot translate reality as language, as I say. So what is happening there, this big guy that is, you know, influencing all the world, and all points in the world, there is brothers and sisters that are brothers of this guy. But we don't understand that. We don't see how we are so close, that we are family.
Exactly.
He is my brother, but we don't understand because he is big, he has money, he has power, he has a different way of being and staying and influencing people. But we are the same people. So Europe is not like it's better or worse, because I've never been to the United States. And if you see the media, you go crazy. But then people don't understand that there is a fight between Europe and United States as it pertains to social and politics. Right. So it's normal that in Europe they will give us the image that, yo, the strongest black people that you have in the world right now, and in terms of economics. They are living this, okay, like, yo, being shot and then, because in Europe it happens the same things, but people don't understand. In Europe, the rights came you know, before everything was settled, because people don't realize that was the Europeans that invaded Africa. So that's why Europe is better. If you start to think, of course it's better, because they are the main the main system.
Yeah, and they're right there too. Europe isn't too far from Africa.
Yeah, they are the main system. Like, they are the ones that teach everybody how to do it. It took different dynamics because of the geographic stuff and etc. But they are the main ones. So they have an image. So they have, and then you have to understand all the things that are being that was stolen from Africa. It was Europe, the one that you know, that benefit with all of that, you know. So it says that Europe is better right now in terms of rights and la 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 la. But that doesn't mean that is not racism that you know, that runs the joint over here.
Yeah. So let's dive into that then, because I know recently Rahiz hit me up and was talking about some issues that were going on in Portugal, and how, from a United States perspective, we handle with the organizing around certain police brutality and just honestly was crimes against humanity that a lot of us go through here in the United States. But talk a little bit about Portugal and the dynamics of Portugal, because again, you have a population of people here that don't really, you have a picture of Madrid, you know about the running of the bulls, you know a little bit about Lisbon, you may know, you may not, but for someone who's an outsider that's looking at Portugal, you know, talk about the dynamics of Portugal and how Black folks are living in Portugal.
You know, Portugal, the entire world had a crisis. I don't know, 2001, something like that. Okay, so with the crisis, everything changed. Money was the problem. Angola, it's a very rich country. So in that time, Portugal changed, and it made a big confusion on Afro descendants' heads, because if we didn't know about the history, most of us, we were not doing nothing to go and research to get the information, and suddenly we started to be promoted. You know, our culture, bro. I was born in Portugal, and for many years, many years, music that was spoken in you know, in Creole languages, you know, would not.
What Creole languages, bro?
Huh?
Creole. Explain what Creole is.
Cape Verdean. A Creole language, as I see it, is like the word for it. We had the Portuguese, okay? They tried to teach us the Portuguese, okay? But we had already different dialects from where we come from. Right. Cape Verdeans have a big problem. We don't know where we come from. So we speak this Creole that is very similar to Ghanaian Creole, okay? Okay. So our Cape Verdean is how we say it. We speak Cape Verdean. It's a mix of Portuguese with something that we don't know where it comes from. You know, it's like broken
languages and Portuguese
or something like that from Jamaica. You know.
I got you. Yeah. So like the Haitian Creole.
Yeah. But it's not slang. It's very old. You know, it's not like, okay, now we're young, we try to find. No, it's very, very old. The origin of it, I would love to know. Okay. Some people say it comes from Senegal. Some people say it comes from Guinea. I don't know. I would love to know. And that's the problem. We don't know. But to go to the question that you were making about Portugal and the dynamics. Right. Angola starting, Portugal went to a crisis, and then they started looking again to the colonies. Like, we need money. Portugal was on a major crisis, was one of the countries in Europe that was in, like, you know, you had Greece, okay, Spain, and Portugal. You know, being Portugal a small country, and you know, and run by dumb and old slave owner mentality people, we were living a different type of crisis because we are small. We had a lot of issues. We have structural issues that we never talked about it, never reformed. Right. And then you have the situation, and you guys can go and search about it. Portugal is between one of the most corrupt countries in Europe, to not say in the world. Guys just need to go and research about it. Just do your Googles.
See, this is things that we don't know. So it's good that you're speaking on it.
It's a very good country to visit. It's the most secure country in Europe. Nice food. People will treat you so good, but has the most dangerous type of racism that is the one that you don't see, but it works on the structure.
So how does that play out?
It plays like now we are having a lot of protests because we have a video of a policeman beating the dad, beating the mom, beating the son, beating everybody there. And what happens is, in Portugal, we have a system of supremacy that comes from an ideology of an empire, you know? So with an empire, you don't only deal with racism, but you deal with the mindset of the ones that, you know, work for the power. So you will not only have black people being beaten, but white people too. It's a class problem, but it turns worse in black people. Right. And gypsies. Do you guys know gypsies?
Those are the Egyptians, right?
Yeah, we have a lot of gypsy people, and they are very discriminated by the Portuguese people. So we're not only dealing with racism in Portugal, but we're dealing with xenophobia, homophobia. We dealing with a lot of phobias, my man. Nobody will tell you. If you ask, I'm not racist. If you ask, I'm not xenophobic. But when you see a video of a black mother being beaten, beside the fact that she's a woman,
wow,
okay, she's an elder woman, and she's a black woman. So you don't have no feminist group talking.
wow.
You don't have the system talking about two crimes. That is, one, a man cannot beat in a woman. Okay, and I'm not even on the man that was beaten, the father and the kid. I'm just on the women. Because if we want to arrange excuses, I will give you something to not excuse. And if you excuse it, it's because you are a very, you are the problem in this world. So she's a woman. You should not beat in a woman like that. Secondly, she's an elder woman. She used to clean all society. And thirdly, she's a citizen. She's someone that worked and deserves respect. Third, on this third, police, the job of a policeman, a police person, is not to beat people. Okay, so you have this video running, and the racism online, it's amazing.
Really?
It's so crazy, the racism online, the negation of society to talk about only this. And the society trying to talk about the origin of the cop that did something. It's like, that is the job of the cop because they was throwing rocks at the cop. Some rocks that we never saw.
So they're justifying them beating this elder black woman and his family because of it sounds like some people that were like provocateurs in the crowd.
Because of the actions of A, B, or C. So if the job of the police is to take with rocks and not handle it on a professional way, we don't need police. We don't need police. We can be each other throwing rocks and fighting all the time.
So the elder woman wasn't even throwing rocks, or the family wasn't even throwing rocks.
I'm telling you, it was a fight inside a family. Someone called the cops. And when the cops comes, they already came with gloves. So you already know he's going to have some. But then you have to analyze the place. The place, if I show you, you will say, no, that is not in Europe. It's a place where people, especially black people, took to live, like buildings that were not finished. And the only problem, and you know, they did it because they didn't have places to go. But then you have to understand, where did they come? Okay, it's like, did they come from, I don't know, other country that was not that did not belong to the empire? No. Especially it's people from Portugal too. So these people took these buildings and finished them on the possibilities that they had. If you see, bro, you go crazy. That is in Portugal. So the police, when it goes to these places, they go already on the mindset that we're going to go to a place where we have people that are less people than other people.
So it's like a slum or a hood?
Bro, I'll show you the images and you go crazy.
Wow.
And right now, Europe has been saying that Portugal have inside the police people, inside the police forces, people that they say comes from the PNR. It's like white. How do I call it? It's not Nazi.
White supremacist group.
Yeah. Okay. You can call it. Yeah, it's a white supremacist group. So Europe made an investigation and called Portugal. Hey, you guys have them inside. You guys have to deal with it, bro. You guys can do your Googles. United Nations, Europe Union are on the, backs of Portugal for years. But Portugal is not changing now. So the result is right now a video once again, because we have many videos, but now is the time. And you know why it's the time? Because now all around the world, if you're seeing this right kind of way of thinking, it's coming. So I think that the universe, it's arranging something. The universe is saying to humanity this: you guys don't want to solve your problems. You guys want to hide. I won't let you guys hide. And if it is to fight, you guys will fight. So if you're scared, the universe is telling you on other ways, bro, you can hide you can do whatever you want. This will have to be handled. So the society on like on Facebook, the racist comments are making the parliament, like you know what the parliament is?
Yeah, it's like Congress here.
The Congress. Right now, everybody's talking about it. And they are all fighting because this was a conversation to be had since we had the independence. Like the next year, we should be talking about it. But for 40, 50 years, that was our independence, nobody talked about it with humanity, with the will to, let's talk about it, let's analyze it, and let's have solutions. So now everybody's being forced to talk about things because not only we young people, that is black, white, Chinese, whatever, we, the youngest generation, we want this to change. So this older state of mind right now is being confronted because kids are not dumb anymore. These new kids have information. They get along with each other. Portugal 15 years ago, white people with black people together. What? Dating? You crazy. You till today, like the other brother. What? Till today, brother. But till today, you have these problems in Portugal. Very old kind of, bro, it's very old, the way that Portuguese people, their mindset is very old. So they are being forced by the Europe Union, to do something about structural racism, about not having laws to protect Afro-descendants, about racism that they've been seeing online, that they've been seeing on the force taskers, racism that on the, prison police, racism on the security police, bro, racism everywhere. Right now, they did a study in Europe. Portugal leads, the studies of a country where people believe in biological racism. That it says that someone that believes that he is superior to another one because he's from a different race.
That's interesting because that was the thinking, and everything that you're saying was thinking that occurred and in some aspects still occur in the United States. Like we had Dr. Francis Cress Wilson debated William Shockley on that very issue about the whole genetics and white people thinking that because they were born white, at the time they were superior. So it's interesting that you're talking about stuff that still structurally and institutionally goes on to this day in the day-to-day interactions, amongst the races. Now, let me ask you this: with everything going on, where is this happening at? It's in Portugal, but where specifically? Is it like Lisbon? Is it Madrid? Is it another city?
It's in the capital, bro, in Lisbon.
Ah, okay. And about how many people populate Lisbon?
Oh, right now I don't know. I would have to do my Googles, bro.
Okay.
But most of the African people living in Portugal are living in Lisbon. Most of them.
Okay.
Like most of them. So, and then you had something that made me so proud, bro. For the first time in our history, kids from 16 to 22 all together made a protest without saying nobody, not even me, not even none of us that are really older than them and really active. And they went straight to the center of the city.
Wow.
You're talking about kids that you don't expect to understand what is happening.
Wow. And when did this event happen?
2 days before the 2 days or 3 days before the video of the family being beaten. And you know what happened, bro? You know what happened? Tourists and some white people, because it's not all. It's like all white people are not bad, you know, but all white people benefits from the situation that we are right now. Okay? So you had tourists and you had white people, you know, congratulating the kids because everybody knows what happened. And the police came and arranged a way to destabilize the situation and started shooting rubber bullets. Allegedly, they said that the kids, listen, the kids threw rocks at them once again. Every time we have rocks, okay? In Portugal, the rocks have life. But yo, so no media was involved because the kids didn't, you know, kids was doing it on Facebook saying, yo, let's go there. But nobody took them serious because it would be something that we never saw. So you didn't have media there. But we had a big movie director that was there and saw everything. And he's credible because he already won, I don't know, a Golden Hand, where he already won a lot of things. So he's credible. And he saw everything. He was on the middle. And he said, when the police saw me, I was with the kids, and the police throw me to the, like, now you go there. And a lot of people said the same. Tourists and Portuguese and white Portuguese people said, we were with the kids because we were feeling more secure with the kids than with the police.
Wow, that's telling. That's
so everybody is, you know. So now you have the institution proving that is racist, but what it did is now inside a few of them that were not racist started talking like, yo, we cannot deny we are a racist country. The situation of the black people have to be handled. The situation of police brutality have to be handled. And let me tell you something. Police people are threatening politics.
Threatening policies?
Bro, Facebook in Portugal right now, it's amazing. It's amazing. You have, cops with pages saying humongous stuff about political, figures, because they are taking a stance. So now you understand it's a very military kind of institution, institution.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's like, bro, you had people say, no, if police tells you to stop, you stop. No, it's not like that. You have your rights. But this is the mentality of Portuguese, because even the Portuguese people, bro, you have to understand, they had a tyrant. His name was Salazar. And even Salazar, to his own white people, you had a lot of white people that had to run from Portugal on that time.
Wow.
So you understand the dynamics of this country? It's not only a black, like, racism kind of stuff. It's a mentality that comes from an era that you had an empire and a dictator, that even his people was being oppressed. That's why I told you, my man, Portugal was the first country, okay, to go there. And I'm telling you, Portugal is the most important, for me, the way I see it. Even, maybe I'm wrong, but on a spiritual level, on a universal level, Portugal is the first country that has to be, dealt with, because it was the first country that went there. Bro, I'm telling you. And the way that things run in Portugal, bro, when are you going to see people, you have white people, being vocal about police brutality. Like, yeah, they beaten me, my son, my mom. Yeah, because police beats everybody in Portugal, bro.
Wow.
But the problem is that they kill black people. I'm gonna tell you one story. We had a friend from Zambujal. It's an area in Lisbon where we have a lot of Afro descendants and we have gypsies. Okay, PTB, our young man, he used to drive without a driver's license. Okay,
Yeah.
so he had a cop that used to stop him, and one day this cop told him, the next time I see you driving without a driver's license, I'm gonna kill you. Bro, the story's so sad that PTB's wife was pregnant. Okay? So the day that she started having contractions, I think, yeah, he put the women in the car. He was going straight to the hospital. So the police, how do you say squadra? The police station right now that is being investigated, okay, on the biggest case of torture, racism, and kidnapping by Europe, bro, in Portugal. Right now we have something happening and we're waiting for the resolution. This same police station, this guy that told him next time, and this was in 2002, I don't know the dates now, but then people can do the Googles. The story is real, the dates, then you guys can go see. PTB, he got the car, okay? He was going to take his wife to the hospital. He was going to be a dad. He passed in front of a roundabout that they had there, okay? And the police saw him and shot him straight on the head.
What?
This is the kind of stories that you have in Portugal that doesn't even have to deal with they did something.
Hold on. So you're telling us that a black man who had a pregnant wife,
yeah,
put the wife in the car.
Yeah, he didn't have a driver's license, but that doesn't, add that much.
Driving in a vehicle, around about to go to the hospital because the wife is about to give birth.
The cop said to him to stop or something like that. He could not. Okay.
And he shot him in the head
because he already
shot a tire out. Did a warning shot in the air, but shot this man in the head. And killed him.
Yeah, I can send you all the receipts, bro.
Wow. And like, again, that's quite interesting because we have a different picture of Europe. Like when I travel and I go throughout the continent of Africa, there's a specific perception of how we're treated in America and the lifestyle that we live. So they oftentimes get a very Hollywood type of picture of America until you talk to someone who can tell you the intricacies about what's going on really in America with our people. And likewise with Europe, we don't often see images of, police brutality or abuse or anything in a negative light like we would see, whether it be on the continent or even in so-called third world countries or countries that are mainly populated by people that have a little melanin in them. You don't see those type of narratives coming out of Europe. So when you're saying this, it goes against the narrative of what we oftentimes kind of view. But I wanted to, because we got to wrap it up a bit, I wanted to get essentially like your thoughts on what do you think, us now knowing this information, you sharing this with us, one, what do you have coming up to essentially attack what's going on with police brutality? And then also, what would you like for us to do in the diaspora, people who just are living outside of Portugal, to do in assistance of you all's efforts there?
To clarify something, Europe is specific Portugal is like the Africa from Europe. This kind of things doesn't happen in France. This way. It doesn't happen in the UK this way. It doesn't happen on Switzerland this way. On other countries of Europe this way. Because the laws are different. Like in France, police cannot, you know, on this situation of PTB, police in France could never, you know, shoot him. Police could never go after him. Police only could took his plate, you know, his car number, okay? Yeah, and then after would do something like that, okay? Just to make you guys understand that Europe it's a dynamic. You have a lot of problems with black people all around Europe, dying too, but not so we don't care, okay? Because the laws work. That's why Europe is trying to say, Portugal, yo, you messing up everything. This is not the way that we are supposed to rule, you know? So the what I have in course right now, you know, in work right now, is to figure out how can I get ways to make an organization, a structure in Portugal, so we can deal with different problems that we have, because we have different problems as community here. As I said to you guys, we are not that well known about the situation as you guys. So experience is everything in life, okay? So we don't have experience on how to structure ourselves. That's what I see there. You have a lot of confusion. You have black people seeing, you know, in Portugal, you have black people saying that the kids should not be doing that. That's why police people are doing what they do. You understand? Because they don't know, you know, too much time inside of a system, you start thinking like the system. So yeah, and so right now, what we would need is to link up with people that know how to build this structure, so we could legally, you know, legally, and with the tools that a country, a democratic country have, so we could build ourselves on a solid image, on a respectful image, with an organizations, 1, 2, or more. So we could start doing different things, education, you know, to see how people would think, so to handle with the mentality that we need to change, and then the structure that when the people have the mentality on the place, we would place people on the right places, so we could have more power, you know, more strength fighting against, you know, the same enemy that we all have. Because the enemy on my head is not the white people. The enemy, it's a mentality that is, you know, attached to white people, to certain, especially certain, you know, that think that they are superior, and they living on a system that they don't want to change. They don't want it to change, because if reality and truth comes to power, there will not be a place for them, because the universe says that the power comes with who have the power. So right now they are, you know, trying to you know, to create a concept of a reality that fits for them.
Sure. Well, thank you so much, brother, for coming on and sharing the story of what's going on with the family out in Portugal. If people wanted to get in contact with you, whether it be check out your music, connect with you on a personal level or organizational type of level, how can they get in contact with you?
Okay, I'm all over the internet, like the social media stuff and etc. You guys can find me on RahizOfficial, Rahiz like this, okay?
Okay.
RAHIZ, okay? Official. You guys can find me everywhere, and just holler at your brother. I'm always on, and I want to figure out how we can work, like the entire world where we are, how can we work together and try to solve our problems, you know, together.
Awesome. So once again, thank you, brother. I'm gonna post all of your information online under this video, so you all can check it out. Once again, that was Rahiz. I'm attorney Taalib Saber with the Saber firm, and we out.
Os nossos sonhos são brancos, nossa vida é negra. Castigaram-nos tanto que até a gente nega tudo aquilo que fomos para vivermos em paz. Mas enquanto a África tiver óleo, petróleo e gás, desunidos certamente seremos vencidos. Oprimidos como povo nós estamos perdidos, desnutridos na mente, na alma e no coração. Enfraquecido está o povo da África, irmão.